How are you beautiful people out there? What is going on? This is your friend Brady coming at you fast with another Paragon tips and tricks videos, and today we are going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes that new players make when starting to play Paragon or even MOBAs in general. Now, these mistakes can be applied to pretty much any MOBA because they are pretty general, and they all apply to gameplay and how people actually play. They don't apply to how people build their heroes. They don't really apply to general understanding of the game, but really how people play and how they can improve themselves by understanding that they make these mistakes and then looking to fix them. Because the first step to fixing the problem is understanding what the problem is. So if any of these 5 things apply to you, then you should work on fixing them because it's very important that you master these basics before becoming an even better player. And you won't be able to become a better player unless you fix these mistakes that a lot of new players make. And there's nothing wrong with them. A lot of them are natural and they all make sense. These are just things you guys got to work on if you are a new player. So let's begin. Now, none of these are in order. They're just top 5 things that I've noticed. It's not like number 1 is the most important, number 5 is least important, and so on and so forth. You guys get it. So the first thing that I want to point out is what I'm doing right here is I'm last hitting minions, okay? And this is one thing that I notice new players don't understand is they don't understand the concept of last hitting. Basically, to last hit a minion, all you have to do is just wait for your minions to deal enough damage to the enemy minions until you can shoot once or hit once and deal damage and take all of the CP because you get more than 5 times the amount of CP when you do last hit the enemy. Now, another thing that I notice people don't do is lack of understanding their role or lack of having confidence. Here, I'm confident that I'm Sparrow, I'm a ranger, I do a lot of damage, and when I saw that steal right there that we just killed, I didn't run away. Instead, I challenged him because I know I could outdamage him and I could outsurvive him because I deal way more damage than he does, especially with my passive that I know because I researched my character and I played her a little bit and I understand her strengths and weaknesses. And this is something that a lot of new people don't do is they don't understand how to play around their character's strengths and weaknesses. And, sometimes I see sparrows that are afraid to shoot a chimera that's way away from them, not understanding that they can easily outdamage them late game. And they don't have to worry about dying because they'll just kill the chimera before the chimera kills the sparrow, and so on and so forth. Here my chimera understands that he's a bit tanky, so he's going to take that aggro. I have Rampage jumping on Murdoch as well, just in case, so he can take the aggro. I noticed that, and I'm confident in my ability that I'm able to kill the Murdoch quick enough, and so that's why I focus my aim on him. And just like that, I have 2 kills because I know my character and I know how to play to her strengths. So that's the second thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that they don't understand their heroes and don't understand how to play to them, and they're just not confident enough with them. And that just comes with time and understanding and playing the game a lot. Now, a big one that I notice a lot is what I like to call tunnel vision, when people do not look at their mini-map, okay? They are not looking at what's going on the map. They're just looking at what's in front of them or what they think they want to do instead of realizing what the priorities are and what they need to go do. For example, I was playing a game where this gadget was middle lane and she was defending it all nice like and everything, and then she decided to rotate right lane because there was 1 of ours and 2 of theirs in the right lane, and it looked like our tower was being pressured. Now, normally that's fine, okay? She wants to go even out the situation and make it a 2v2, but the enemy Gideon was still in the middle lane, and as soon as that gadget left the middle lane, the enemy Gideon had a free ticket to deal damage to our tower, which was definitely not the smart move on the gadget. And if the gadget just looked at the map a little bit and realized that, hey, our teammate is under tower and it's still pretty early in the game, there's no way they'll be able to take that tower, the gadget could have defended mid lane a bit better and protected it from some damage against that Gideon. And that is just one example of tunnel vision. Understanding your priorities and understanding what you need to do based off of what's going on the map is very important. And I made a full-fledged length video on map awareness if you guys want to go check that out. Tips on how to improve your map awareness, what it is, and just in general how to use it to your best ability and to your advantage. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about is something that a lot of people overlook, and this is calling out and using the team comms. Now, if you're playing on PC, you press the C key. Okay, I don't know if it's automatically binded. Way back in March, you actually had to bind it yourself to the C key or whatever it was, but I'm pretty sure it auto binds. Now, if you're on keyboard, you press C, and then it will pull up a bunch of comms. Okay, if you press on PS4, I think it is shit, I forget what I forget what it is on PS4 because I use the mouse and keyboard for such a long time. I think it's L1 though. I'm pretty sure it's L1. If you do L1 and then you can use square, circle, X, triangle, all that to pull out the comms. You guys know what I'm talking about. If not, then it's L2. I'm sorry, I forget. Okay, my bad. Anyway, pull out the comms and use those things, okay? Use those mofos because they are very helpful. For example, when you are fighting somebody in your lane, right, and you notice that they're rotating over left, okay, use your comms and tell that, hey, enemies are missing, be careful, left lane. Now, there's a lot of comms and there's a lot of options, and yes, it is a lot of muscle memory, so you guys do have to get a little bit acquainted to be able to call it out quick. But if you remember that, hey, you know, if I want to say on my way to left and I say, okay, I gotta press C and then go left, right, left with my mouse or whatever it is, you know, you just get that muscle memory down. You're able to communicate very effectively, and you guys will get used to it the more you play to it. But just start using that more. Start using it. Even if you're slow at first, you'll get that muscle memory down and at least get the important ones, right? You don't even need that know stuff like good job. Even for some reason, people always know that one the best. Freaking trollers. But you know the important ones like enemies missing or on my way or I need help. Those are 3 really important comms to know and to use, and it helps in communicating with your team, especially if you're solo queue and you're not in a party chat or talking on comms through Skype or Discord or TeamSpeak or something like that. And the 5th one, which is also a very important one that just comes with practice and time in playing the game, is rotation and positioning. And this is something that people just need to play a lot in order to understand what that means. But basically, positioning is how you're positioned on the map in relation to what your strengths are. For example, if you're a jungler, understand that you need to spend most of your time in the jungle. But also, remember to position yourself in ways that will help you gank the enemy if you are in a position to do so and help out your teammates. Now, right here, you know, I use my positioning to my advantage to help out my rampage. I see that they're bottlenecked, right? I see that there's 4 enemies bottlenecked in that little tunnel, little pathway right there. I mean, obviously, they could go up, but I pop my ult to Sparrow so I can deal as much damage as possible and give room for my ally to escape so he can escape freely and not be chased down by the enemy. And that is how I use my positioning. And then I rotate smartly because I realize that it's a 1v4 or a 2v4, however many there were in that situation, and I back off. And not just in the team fight positioning and rotation, but also across the map. Realize that, hey, you know, position yourself in a good way that's good for your role. If you're a ranger, position yourself in the left and right lanes because that's usually where you want to be, and it minimizes your chances of being ganked and gives you more time to farm up and get more XP. And then remember to look at the map and see, okay, I see 3 enemies going middle trying to jump my friend middle. If I see that my teammate is going middle, I should go middle too and make it a fair 3v3 fight and rotate properly and accordingly, okay? That jungle minion can wait. If there's a team fight going on, that takes the cake, that takes the priority. Leave the jungle minion, come back to kill it later. Your team needs you right now. Drop everything. It's okay if you don't get the last hits on the last couple of minions in your waves, if it means saving your teammates' lives and winning a team fights and taking a tower in the process. So those are the top 5 mistakes that I see a lot of new players make, and even some intermediate players as well. I do want to come out with a video listing the top 5 mistakes that advanced players make, and yes, advanced players do make mistakes. Even if they are small, they could be costly when it comes to making them. So I do want to make those mistakes because I've made those mistakes too from personal experience, and I think it's important for everybody, no matter how good you think you are, or how amazing you think you are at the game, or how much you've played, to realize that, hey, everybody makes mistakes, and that's the only way you're going to learn is from losing and from learning from your mistakes. So that's about it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day.